The color green meant something completely different to American farmers in the 1960s and 1970s, and it had nothing to do with John Deere. Oliver's signature meadow green paint was rolling across fields from Iowa to Mississippi, pulling deeper, working harder, and outlasting machines twice their price. Oliver built some of the most technically advanced farm tractors ever put into production during those 2 decades. Tractors with Detroit diesel 2-stroke engines, 6-cylinder power plants, and revolutionary transmissions that the competition simply couldn't match. These 10 machines defined an era of American agriculture that will never come back. Let's count them down. Number 10. Oliver 1550. We start our list with one of Oliver's most dependable utility tractors of the era, the Oliver 1550. Introduced in 1965, this machine was designed to serve the mid-size farming operation, and it did exactly that with remarkable consistency throughout its production run. The 1550 was powered by a 265 cubic inch 6-cylinder gasoline engine, and a diesel version was also available, a hallmark of Oliver's deep commitment to diesel technology that went back to the 1940s. With 58 PTO horsepower, the 1550 wasn't the most powerful tractor on this list by a long shot, but it was the right size for the right job. Farmers who needed a tractor that could handle tillage, planting, and baling without the fuel costs of a larger machine looked to the 1550 as their go-to workhorse. One of the things that made the 1550 stand out was its transmission. Oliver offered their creeper drive option on this model, which allowed for extremely slow, controlled ground speeds, useful for specialty crops and precision field work. The cab options available for the 1550 were also ahead of many competitors of the same size class. When the 55 series was introduced in 1969, the 1550 was upgraded and renamed the Oliver 1555, which continued production all the way to 1975. The legacy of the 1550 lives on among collectors today, who appreciate its simplicity, reliability, and the wide availability of parts. If you're looking for an entry point into Oliver tractor collecting, the 1550 and 1555 are frequently the recommended starting point, and that reputation alone earns this machine a spot on our list. Number 9. Oliver 1650. Step up the power ladder and you arrive at the Oliver 1650, one of the most versatile and beloved tractors the company ever built. Introduced in 1964, the 1650 served the upper end of medium-duty farming and gave operators significantly more pulling power than the 1550, while still remaining manageable and fuel-efficient. The 1650 was available with both a gasoline engine and a diesel engine. The diesel variant used a 283 cubic inch 6-cylinder engine, and at 73 PTO horsepower, it had enough grunt to pull a 4-bottom plow through heavy soil with confidence. Oliver's engineering on the 1650 emphasized balance. This was a tractor that could do nearly everything asked of it without being excessive or wasteful. The 1650's transmission options were a key selling point. Oliver gave buyers the choice of a standard gear transmission or their innovative Hydra-Power drive, which was a hydraulic power boost system that made shifting under load far smoother. For farmers who were working varied terrain or heavy soil conditions, the Hydra-Power option was a significant practical advantage. The 1650 was also produced with an optional 4-wheel drive configuration, making it one of the earlier mid-range tractors to offer that kind of traction capability to operators who needed it for wet or hilly conditions. Like the 1550, the 1650 was upgraded into the 55 series as the Oliver 1655 in 1969, extending the model's working life through 1975. Among collectors, restored 1650s and 1655s are highly sought-after machines. Number 8. Oliver 1800. Here's where the story starts to get really interesting. The Oliver 1800 was introduced in 1960 as part of Oliver's entry into the emerging high-horsepower tractor market, and it represented a significant leap forward in terms of what American farmers could expect from a production row crop tractor at that time. Powered by a 310 cubic inch 6-cylinder engine available in both gasoline and diesel versions, the 1800 produced 82 PTO horsepower, a number that genuinely impressed the farming community when this machine debuted. Keep in mind that 80-plus horsepower in a row crop tractor was extraordinary territory in 19. Competitors were scrambling to keep pace with what Oliver was doing. The 1800 was also among the earliest Oliver models to offer a factory four-wheel drive option when the Series B update arrived in 1962. Four-wheel drive in 1962 was not common on production tractors from any manufacturer. Oliver was genuinely ahead of the curve here, understanding that large-scale farming operations needed traction as much as they needed raw power. The 1800 styling also deserves mention. With its squared-off sheet metal in Oliver's signature meadow green with white grille and trim, the 1800 looked modern and purposeful. It set the visual template that Oliver would follow through the rest of the decade. While it was eventually replaced by the more powerful 1850, the 1800 holds a respected place in Oliver history as the machine that opened the door to the high horsepower era for the company. Number 7. Oliver 1655. The Oliver 1655 was the upgraded evolution of the 1650 and represents the 55 series at its most refined for the mid-range segment. Introduced in 1969 as part of Oliver's comprehensive lineup refresh, the 1655 brought subtle but meaningful improvements over its predecessor while maintaining everything that had made the 1650 popular in the first place. The 1655 was powered by a 283 cubic inch, 6-cylinder diesel engine producing 77 PTO horsepower, and a gasoline engine option was also available using a larger 310 cubic inch 6-cylinder block. The diesel version in particular earned a strong reputation for fuel economy and longevity, two qualities that matter enormously to a working farmer looking at the cost of running a machine season after season. What set the 1655 apart from many of its competitors in the late 1960s and early 1970s was its hydraulic shift transmission option. This system allowed the operator to shift between 6 forward speeds without using the clutch, a genuinely innovative feature that reduced operator fatigue during long days in the field. The idea of a power shift or semi-automatic transmission was something most manufacturers were still figuring out during this period. The 1655 was also built with operator comfort in mind. Optional cabs were available that provided heat and significantly reduced noise, which was a growing expectation from farmers who were spending 10 and 12 hours a day in the seat. The 1655 remained in production until 1975 and today stands as one of the most frequently restored Oliver models, a testament to how well-designed and well-built this machine truly was. Number 6. Oliver 1755. The Oliver 1755 stepped into the upper tier of Oliver's lineup as the 55 series replacement for the 1750, and it delivered a meaningful power increase that put it in genuinely competitive territory against the strongest offerings from John Deere and International Harvester during the early 1970s. Under the hood of the 1755 diesel sat a 310 cubic inch, 6-cylinder Oliver engine producing 95 PTO horsepower. That was tested, certified horsepower, not marketing numbers. At the Nebraska Tractor Test Laboratory, which was the gold standard for tractor performance verification at the time, the 1755 proved itself as a legitimate heavy-duty pulling machine capable of handling 5 and 6 bottom plows in most soil conditions. The 1755 offered the same hydraulic shift transmission technology available on the 1655, along with Oliver's excellent 3-point hitch system and hydraulic capability that allowed operators to manage multiple implements efficiently. The tractor's weight was managed carefully by Oliver's engineers to maximize traction without sacrificing maneuverability in the field or on the road. One of the often overlooked strengths of the 1755 was its engine durability. The Oliver 6-cylinder was built with thick cylinder walls and precision tolerances that gave it a reputation for surviving hard use over many years. Many 1755s that left the factory in the early 1970s were still running productive farm work decades later. Production continued through 1975, and the 1755 is today considered one of the premier models in any serious Oliver collection. Number 5. Oliver 1850. Breaking through the 100 horsepower barrier was a landmark moment for any tractor manufacturer in the 1960s, and Oliver crossed it with the 1850. Introduced in 1964, this machine pushed the boundaries of what a conventional row crop tractor could do and gave large-scale grain and livestock farmers the kind of raw power they had been demanding. The 1850 diesel was powered by a 310 cubic inch six-cylinder engine that had been tuned and turbocharged in some configurations to deliver those landmark 102 PTO horsepower. This was serious horsepower for a four-wheel tractor during the mid-1960s, and Oliver backed it up with a transmission system and rear axle capable of putting that power effectively to the ground. The 1850 was available with Oliver's Hydra-Power drive system, which made it far easier for operators to manage power delivery under heavy load conditions. When you are pulling multiple plow bottoms through tough soil, the ability to maintain momentum through a shift without losing ground speed is genuinely valuable, and Oliver understood that. Four-wheel drive was also available on the 1850 for operators who needed maximum traction on challenging terrain. The 1850 was a natural fit for large commercial farming operations in the Midwest and Great Plains, where ground conditions varied dramatically from field to field and season to season. It was replaced by the Oliver 1855 in 1969, but the 1850 stands on its own as a landmark machine in the Oliver story. Number 4. Oliver 1900. The Oliver 1900 holds a unique and fascinating place in tractor history because of the engine that powered it. While most tractor manufacturers of the era were building four-stroke diesel or gasoline engines, Oliver partnered with General Motors and installed the legendary GM 453 Detroit diesel two-stroke engine in the 1900, a decision that made this machine unlike anything else working American fields in the early 1960s. The GM 453 was a four-cylinder two-stroke diesel engine that produced a distinctly aggressive sound, a high-revving mechanical whine that farmers and collectors still describe with genuine affection to this day. The early 1900 models produced approximately 89 PTO horsepower, and when Oliver updated the model with the Series B revision in 1962, the upgraded 453N engine pushed output up to 100 PTO horsepower. The 1900 Series B also introduced a factory four-wheel drive option in 1962, which was a remarkable feature for the time. A four-wheel drive tractor producing 100 horsepower in 1962 was genuinely cutting-edge agricultural technology. The combined tractive effort of all four driven wheels allowed the 1900 to work in field conditions that would have bogged down a conventional two-wheel drive machine of the same power class. Without ballast, the Oliver 1900 weighed approximately 13,000 pounds. When fully ballasted with iron wheel weights and fluid in the tires, that figure could climb to 21,000 pounds, giving it extraordinary traction for the horsepower it was producing. The 1900 was replaced by the even more powerful 1950 in 1964, but its use of the Detroit diesel two-stroke engine makes it one of the most memorable and distinctive tractors Oliver ever built. Number 3. Oliver 1855. The Oliver 1855 is widely regarded as the crown jewel of Oliver's 55 series, and one of the finest conventional row crop tractors the company ever produced. Replacing the well-regarded 1850 in 1969, the 1855 delivered 108 PTO horsepower from its 310 cubic inch six-cylinder engine, a number that placed it firmly at the top of the conventional tractor market for much of its production run. At the Nebraska Tractor Test Laboratory, the 1855 diesel recorded 82.65 drawbar horsepower under testing conditions, genuine repeatable numbers that gave farmers confidence they were buying real performance. Oliver's engine was refined and optimized over the course of the 1855's production life, and the tractor earned an outstanding reputation for pulling consistency and engine longevity in the field. The 1855 was available with Oliver's full range of transmission options, including the hydraulic shift system that allowed power shift style changes between 6 forward speeds without clutching. The hydraulic system was capable and responsive, supporting the 3-point hitch and any remote hydraulic functions the operator needed to run their implements effectively. Oliver also fitted the 1855 with one of the most comfortable operator environments available on any tractor of its class during the early 1970s. Optional enclosed cabs with heating provided conditions that allowed farmers to work in all weather situations without the physical toll that open station operation imposed. The 1855 remained in production through 1975 and today commands premium prices among collectors who recognize it as the definitive expression of Oliver's engineering at its finest in the conventional tractor segment. Number 2. Oliver 1950T. The Oliver 1950T is one of the most underappreciated and underrated tractors in American agricultural history, and its placement at number 2 on this list reflects just how remarkable a machine it truly was. The T in its name stood for turbocharged, and the Oliver 1950T used a turbocharged version of the company's 6-cylinder diesel engine to produce 131 PTO horsepower, an absolutely extraordinary figure for a production farm tractor in 1968. To put that number in context, 131 horsepower from a turbocharged 6-cylinder diesel engine in 1968 placed the 1950T among the most powerful production tractors in the world at the time of its release. Oliver was not simply keeping pace with the industry, they were leading it. Very few manufacturers had turbocharged production tractors available to farmers at that horsepower level during the late 1960s. The 1950T was built on the same platform as the standard Oliver 1950, but the addition of the turbocharger transformed the character of the machine entirely. The turbocharged engine delivered its power with a sense of urgency and capability that made operating the 1950T a genuinely memorable experience. Drawbar pull numbers were outstanding, and the tractor could handle large tillage rigs and planting equipment that simply outclassed anything a lower horsepower machine could manage. Production of the 1950T was relatively brief. The model was updated and evolved into the 55 series as the Oliver 1955 in 1970, but during its short production window, the 1950T proved that Oliver's engineering team had the talent and the ambition to compete at the very highest levels of the tractor industry. For anyone who encounters a genuine Oliver 1950T today, they are looking at one of the most significant farm tractors of the 1960s. Number 1. Oliver 2255. There is no debate about which Oliver tractor claims the number 1 position on this list. The Oliver 2255 was the most powerful production tractor the company ever built, and it remains one of the most iconic and spectacular farm tractors in American history. Everything about the 2255 was extraordinary, from the engine choice, to the visual impact, to the raw performance numbers that came out of the Nebraska Tractor Test Laboratory. Oliver did not build the engine that powered the 2255. Instead, they turned to Caterpillar. The engine of choice was the CAT 3150 V8 diesel, a 573 cubic inch 8-cylinder power plant with a bore and stroke of 4.5 inches. Installing a V8 diesel engine in a farm tractor was an audacious engineering decision. Several other manufacturers had attempted V8 diesel tractors, but without much success. Oliver and Caterpillar made it work. When the naturally aspirated CAT 3150 equipped Oliver 2255 was officially tested at the University of Nebraska in 1973, it produced 146.72 PTO horsepower. That result made it not only the most powerful Oliver tractor ever built, but also more powerful than the Oliver 2655 and the Oliver 2155, 2 other large tractors in the lineup. The V8 engine's massive displacement delivered torque and pulling capability that made the 2255 a genuine field-clearing machine for the largest farming operations in the country. Visually, the 2255 was stunning. The CAT 3150 V8 was physically so large that the engine banks protruded from both sides of the hood, requiring new, wider sheet metal and a redesigned cast iron frame to accommodate the power plant. The cast frame even included a hole on the lower left front side to allow access to the engine oil filters mounted on the block. There was simply nothing else that looked like a 2255 in a field or at a farm show. The 2255 was painted in Oliver's signature meadow green with clover white on the wheels, grille, and trim. A Canadian version was produced as the white 2255, painted in vermilion red with white trim, intended for distribution through dealers in Canada. The 2 versions of the machine shared the same mechanical architecture despite their dramatically different visual appearances. Production of the 2255 ran from 1972 through 1976. A relatively brief window of just 4 years. During that time, it stood as the definitive statement of what Oliver could achieve when they committed fully to producing the most powerful, most capable tractor they could conceive. The decision had already been made by White Motor Corporation to phase out the Oliver name entirely, and the 2255 was among the final tractors to carry it. The last Oliver-branded tractor came off the assembly line in Charles City, Iowa on February 13, 1976. Today, the Oliver 2255 is the most coveted tractor in the Oliver collector community. A fully restored example in excellent condition commands serious money at farm auctions and vintage equipment shows across the country. The sight and sound of a Cat 3150 V8 diesel firing up is something that stops people in their tracks. It is a machine that represents the very end of an era, the final flourish of a brand that had spent nearly 5 decades building machines that American farmers trusted with their livelihoods. So that's it for today. If you like this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.